Get motivated with Mr. Smiles, Vinney Chopra. He is also known as Mr. Enthusiasm. He will share and challenge you each week on great topics on how to get excited, how to really make things happen in your business, and change your life for the better. Here is Vinney with this week's Motivation Inspiration.
Hi guys, welcome to your weekly Motivation Power Talk with Mr. Smiles. I am your co-host, Alicia Debrell. Hi, Mr. Smiles.
Hi there. Hi, Alicia. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. This is a great podcast we come to every week. We like to talk about motivational different things from Mr. Smiles. Today, we are going to jump right into it, and we are going to talk about an important subject, which I find, and that's really trying to the art of understanding others. And I know that's an important subject to Mr. Smiles. So, Mr. Smiles, let's jump into it. Let's talk about the art of understanding others.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Boy, yeah, you shared the topic with me, the art of understanding others. It's huge. Oh my God, it's totally huge because we accomplish so much in life if we really master this art, by the way, the art of understanding others, because
it's an art. It's an art.
It is an art. It really is. It's not a science. It's not a science. It's an art that we learn and we can practice and we can achieve and we can get better at it. You know, that's why we say it's an art. If it was a science, being an engineer, I feel like scientific facts will give us only scientific results, right? But the art is the thing that you want to learn and, you know, to work with people. That's the number one quality, by the way. If a employer is looking for employee for them to work in their team or for the job that they are given, they're going to always be asking, how can they understand others? How can they work with others, right? So we're going to go dig deeper into understanding others today. So understanding others, as I understand, is the psychology, it's the physiology, and it's what we do with an interaction. We really want to get into the mind of the others to understand them. Oh my gosh. So in other words, you know, we can understand somebody better if we get into their shoes. If we can put ourselves in their shoes, what they're going through, how they behave, how they think, where they have come from, we will be in a much better position to understand others. So, I mean, I'm just thinking it as we are talking. You know, psychology plays a big, important role in anybody's life. In my life, what I'm psyche about, what I think about, what I'm thinking, what ideas I've formed already, those will be deciding in the decision-making process. Similarly, it's true for others. We need to understand that we cannot change others instantly. We cannot change them by the whim. We just met them 20 minutes back, for example. I'm just thinking about a client, a prospect, an investor in our case, or in my previous life, a business leader I was sitting down with. I would only find out about that person what the business is, right, Alicia? But I did not know who that person is inside. I could go to LinkedIn. I could go to Facebook. I could look at their pictures. Maybe I could find out if they've gone fishing, if they've gone to mountains, if they like to fly. Okay, that tells me a little bit about them, a little bit. But what do I need to know more? I need to get into their psyche. I need to understand them. See, that's what we are talking about today. Understanding others, how to achieve results for them and us at the same time. It's a win-win-win situation. That's why we read that all the time. Let's do a win-win situation. It cannot be win and lose. So understanding others is a very important art. It is a huge art that we all must practice. must practice. And who really does practice the most are the leaders in the industry. If you think about it, in the company also, you might have 100 people. Like in my company, at the peak we had in my new companies in real estate, we had about 100 people. But I can really pinpoint 5 or maybe 6 leaders who really understood other people. Look,
they have mastered that art.
Exactly. Only 5 or 6 people. So it's a art that is not practiced that much in the world. Actually, we are in our own shell. But the thing is, if we understand others better, we will communicate better with them. They will understand our thoughts better. They will absorb our ideas better, and they will decide better also, because they start to feel, the word is, they start to feel that you are understanding them. See, isn't it true in our life also, when husband and wife have a trifle or talk or something they're talking about, and they disagree. They disagree because we are not understanding each other's.
And they don't feel understood.
Exactly. A lot of things, people fall apart, divorces happen, a lot of things happen because we just don't understand each other. I mean, that is the real key to success, key to the whole fact, is that we are in our own shell. We don't want to learn the psyche, the things that are going, the challenges, the things that are really bothering other people. If we don't really get into those things, how can we help them? How can we understand them?
If we don't understand them, how can we help them?
That's so true, and understanding others will progress our whole lotus, like the lotus flower opens up, right, in the water. I mean, our mind will open up, our whole world will open up, I think, if we just started practice the art of understanding others.
Yeah.
If we really decide to get into their mind, into where they are, and before we talk, we listen. That's very, very important thing. Because how can we understand others? We can only understand others if we let them speak.
Yeah.
If we let them speak, because we can ask questions and they can give us answers. We should ask questions, 1 line, 2 lines, let them give 100 lines of answers. That's when you understand somebody else. And I believe that's so true in sales career, which I've had all my life.
I was just going to go there.
It's so true. God gave us only 1 mouth, just 1 mouth. It gave us 2 eyes and 2 ears. That's 5 total things, So 5 and mouth is 1. So 1 divided by 5 is 20%. So we should be only talking 20% and listening to 80% of the time. That's 100%. Actually, my wife will say, Vinney, you don't practice it.
Right. Mine would say the same, because I'm actually
a lot of people listening to me.
As one of my subjects for one of our next ones is shut up and listen.
It's so true. I'm telling you, Alicia, I need to be better at it, to be truthful. I have so much excitement when I meet. My enthusiasm sometimes takes over my listening power. And that is so true. I need to listen more and ask few questions. Instead, I start talking too much. And that's what we need to always be catching ourselves, to not talk too much, but listen the other person more. So the art of understanding, if we can talk about, is listening more. It's talking less. It's listening, not just hearing. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute, what I just said. You hear. Hearing means you just hear and you're not listening. You just hear and it's going over your head.
My daughter does that a lot.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people just hear. They don't listen to you. So in other words, hearing is just going over your head. You're not even really getting to their shape. What they're trying to tell us, we hear about it, but listening is attention. It's the efficiency. It's like our concentration in somebody, what they're talking about. In a prospect, you say, "Hi, John, is it okay if I can take down some notes? As I'm listening to you, I want to really write down some good points because I don't have big memory. I used to, but can I write it down?" And the people will feel appreciated. I'm telling you, note taking is an art. You have to just qualify. You have to just mention it to them. Can I write down some of the very, very big, you're really saying some really great things, John. Let me go ahead and write them down. Wow, guess what? You drew them to you. That person is getting closer to you now. They started to like you. They started to feel important. Hold on. What is the art of understanding others?
Making them
If you
important.
can make them feel important, that is the art. Then you have succeeded it. You have succeeded in your art of understanding if the other people is feeling important. I need to practice myself, guys. I'm not at the 100%. I may be at 70%. Some of us might be 60%. Some might be 40%. Give yourself a rating today. If you would, anybody listening and watching to me, give yourself a rating and let's get better at it. Do you listen more or do you talk more? Do you understand less or more other people? Why you want to really learn this art of understanding is to become a better person. We all want to strive to become a better person every day, every single day, every week, every month, every year. And you will accomplish a lot more when you just understand the art of understanding others.
No, I love it. And I completely agree. And I think it's so important to put yourself in their shoes because you have no idea what kind of day that person has had. You're going to the grocery store, you're in the gas station, you're walking, and that person may be just in a bad mood, or maybe they're in a happy mood, or maybe they're in whatever kind of mood, but you have no idea what their day is like.
No.
You have no idea what happened at home, or if they're sick, if they're not sick, if they're just won $3 million, or if they just lost $3 million. You have no idea what their life is about. And the only way you can do it is by listening and to understand where they're coming from. So I completely agree with you on that.
Thank you, Alicia. That's so true what you just said. When we meet with people, we meet the exterior people. Mm-hmm. We meet just the face. We meet just what they're wearing. We meet them, how they portray themselves outwardly. We need to go inwardly. Mm-hmm. We need to go in their mind, in their psyche, what they're going through, what they're feeling, what kind of day, like you just said. I remember a lot of things come to my mind right now. When you're sitting next in the plane, you want to say some things to somebody next door, next person sitting, but you don't know what they're going through. So it's better to just find out where they're coming, how they are.
Or just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. So true, so true, because people are going through so many stresses and strains in life, so many inhibitions, so many frustrations. I'm telling you, a lot of us are spending time in stressful situations. Look at billions of dollars of vitamins and other stuff and psychiatric help around the world in USA. I mean, all these people are really getting consumed with the stresses of not really understanding themselves, understanding others. Yeah. It's kind of like a combination of the two. There are the two fireballs kind of uniting each other. When we don't understand ourselves and we don't understand others and we are trying to accomplish the business, we are in deep trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work
It's
at
a
all.
big subject. It's a very big subject, But I would really highly recommend everybody listening to me or talking to me. The exciting part is get a coach, get a success coach.
Yeah.
I want to really become your success coach. If you are coming through some personal life determination, different things in your business or like that, I've done it before. Alicia, I'm just becoming. I think I'm just branching. I want to give so much of me, through courses and other stuff. But the big thing is life is very special life, a precious life. Let's not waste it. But understand others, because by understanding others and making sure that we do understand ourselves, we will accomplish our goals.
Guys, definitely reach out to Vinney. He is, I've known him for, I guess we've known him almost a year now. And I'm fortunate to work with him, so I get all his positive coaching for free. So, but he's always positive. If you've been listening to our podcast, you know how amazing he is. He's always giving. And I always try to ask him action steps for everything that we're talking about. So again, at the end of each podcast, I always like to ask him for his nugget of advice about whatever subject we're talking about. And today it's the art of understanding. So Vinney, please give us your weekly nugget of advice about the art of understanding others and how important it is.
Art of understanding is such a special art that we always should strive to understand others. Mm-hmm. Make up your mind. Step number 1, make up your mind right away, right today. If you're going to see a prospect, an investor, or you're talking to your wife, or you're talking to your son or daughter, or anybody, a business person in the church or like that, you want to get better at it. You say, you know what, Vinney just said, I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm going to listen. I'm not going to talk that much. That is the art of understanding. Step number 2, just go ahead and make up your mind. You did step number 1, practice. Step number 2 is to just shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and you just ask a question and let people tell you. Of course, if they wander around and everywhere, then you need to bring them back into the subject that you're asking. But practice, that's the step number 2. The third thing is see the difference and enjoy the fruit of your doing what you just did. See, that's where our mind tries to change the behavior. Our behavior will change if you just keep a couple of these steps in mind. Talk less, ask more, understand your client more, and let them speak. And then you will come with win-win situation. Remember, always we do better when other people do better. And it's a win-win situation that brings us to a new success in our business, in our life. So it's going to happen in our family, with our wife, with our husband, with our children. It's a win-win situation. So let's not say to somebody, hey, you do this and I'll do this. You do this and I'll do this. You get this, I do this. I'm so glad we are talking about this. I want to talk about a film we just saw, my Indian film we saw last night, my wife and I. It made a big impact on my life last night. What happened is that in India, we pressure our kids too much. We pressure so much our kids to do better and go to better school and get to better university and do this and do that and be successful. And the pressure is so much. I think that's what I learned from last night, is that we need to not only train them for success, but also train our people, our students, our kids for failure, how to cope with it. Mm-hmm. How to cope with failure. Because in this film, the little boy who didn't really score well in the school was suicidal. He jumped actually from the 10th floor or something, or 5th floor. He didn't die, but he was in coma and all that. But the thing was that really made a big impact in my life, is that we need to understand people. We need to understand our children more. We need to understand everybody around us more. It's so timely that we are talking about it today.
I agree. My husband and I were having the same conversation about our daughter in soccer practice, and she's like in a league, and in this league they don't allow. Now she's only 4. She's playing with the 5-year-olds because she's big, but
yes,
but they don't allow. So if one team's winning by a lot, they make the other team score a couple. Let the other. So
excellent.
But I don't like that. I mean, I like it. Let them catch up. But I don't want my daughter to have a participation badge. Participation is fun, losing is losing, winning is winning. And sometimes I do like the fact that I'm not like they're not getting hammered. You know what I mean? With a loss like 50-0, they're only 5.
Yes.
That's demeaning at that age. But but I do agree with you that people are not trained for. We don't train our children nowadays how to deal with loss and not being successful and not, in school or sports or whatever. You know what I mean? We only train them to win and be successful.
That's so true. No, you're so right. I mean, Alicia, what I meant was, you're right. We should be always encouraging them to be successful. But if they are not, are not number 1, they're number 2, number 3 in certain parts of their life, it's okay. Mm-hmm. We should not really say, I'm going to get you that helicopter or I'm going to get something. If you get to be that person or win that and all that, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We need to not say that only when you are number 1, when you are really successful. We need to just understand what they're going through. I think that's where I'm coming from. We need to be more understanding to where they are in their thinking and make their thinking to really be a better person, successful, and how to deal with failures also.
And that's about understanding others. So I love it. And that finishes off our podcast. So Mr. Smiles, thank you so much today. All right, guys, you can always text to LEARN to 474747. You can reach out to Mr. Smiles at vinneychopra.com, where you can apply for mentorship. You can partner with him. You can invest with him. You can pretty much find everything that you need there. All of his social media links will be here in the show notes. Mr. Smiles, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be with you Monday morning, and every week. And I appreciate that. You take care. See you again. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.